Do you love EVs? Do you hate EVs? Well, if you like me, you got a love-hate relationship with them things. My name's Wilhelmy. This is car technology or automotive technology daily digest. I don't know what the hell we're going to call this, but YouTube told me I got to pick a niche, so I'm going to pick a niche. We're going to talk about automotive technology. That's the whole thing in this thing. Now, I'm going to present every week a different subject matter, right? I was talking about turbos last week before that. This week, we're going to talk about one thing, and next week, we're going to talk about something else. And it's always going to be that on this channel. Now, I'm going to split up some stuff, put some other stuff on other channels. I got like 4 channels right now. 3 of them are dormant. But we're going to change some things up because our views are terrible, y'all. I don't know what's going on. But right now, the way things are going, it's just sad. Real sad. So we're going to change some things up. The channel's going to be a little different. But anyway, as we get into it, this week, we're going to talk about EVs. Now, electric vehicles are being hammered down the throat of the world, right? Europe, Asia, South America and Africa, not so much, because it's more about reality down there than it is radical environmentalism. So the reality is EVs are a fun, like they're a fifth car for someone, right? It's not really something you should be forced to live with day to day. An EV is like a Lucid Sapphire. It's like a Tesla Plaid. It's like a Hummer EV. It's something fun, something cool. Now, see, that's a side of me that likes EVs. I like EVs because they are tech heavy. I love the new tech, right? They are fast, very fast. The acceleration you get from a Tesla Plaid or from a Lucid Sapphire or, a lot of modern, the Chinese EVs off the chain with their 4-digit horsepower. But the acceleration is pretty much unmatched unless you got a ZR1X, right? Well, anyway, EVs are really not road ready. They're really not something that makes any sense. Anybody that owns an EV is limited. If that's your only car, you have placed some outside limits on yourself and your mobility. And no way around it. It used to be, I don't have to buy gas anymore, I'm free. No, you got to buy electricity. Electricity is not free, right? And then you got to buy range. You got to buy resale value. Man, it's a whole lot of things that come with an electric vehicle that are negatives, lots of negatives. Now, EVs, for the most part now, are disposable cars. They're trying to move us from, some car you can buy 20 years down the road, still be driving, still be working on it, much like myself. Now, I say peak car happened in the early 2000s, right? 2010, maybe. Cars were regular, analog for the most part. You could do whatever you had to do to them. You could repair them. Parts are cheap. Those cars are not disposable. Anything made before then, not disposable. Most new cars that are still automotive, still combustion engine cars, they're really not that disposable. They're getting there though. And the reason cars are disposable, well, what is a disposable car? A car that's easily totaled out, whether mechanically or by a damage, right? And what does it mean to be totaled out? Does it mean the car can't be fixed? No, that's not what it means. Being totaled means it'll cost more to fix the car than the car's worth at resale value. As far as you buy a car brand new off the lot, brand new Porsche, let's just say a Porsche Taycan, right? EV, 100 and some odd thousand, right? I have no idea. They discontinued the thing, but I think they did anyway. Let's say 150,000, right? For whatever level of Porsche Taycan you're gonna get. You drive off the lot, the car is it loses probably about 30% of its value on the first day, I would imagine. You try to take it back or sell it to CarMax, you drive straight from the Porsche dealership to CarMax and say, give me a price, they're gonna quote you 100,000. If the car was 135, when you paid for it. So right there, you lost a lot of value. But, you know, like I said, it's still worth $100,000, right? So if something happens, if you wreck that car day one, you might not do that much damage to it, depending on how bad the wreck is, right? But you have that car for 3 years, and then you have a fender bender. Now, cars nowadays are so expensive. The parts are so expensive. So much technology and packed in these cars, and it's taking up every inch of the car. You jack up your front bumper, you messed up the radar sensor, you've messed up parking sensors, you have decalibrated things, you have airbag sensors, all kind of stuff gets towed up. So a basic front end fender bender might cost you $15,000 at the repair shop. Now, if your car is worth $17,000, the insurance company is going to cut you a check and take your heap from you. Okay, that's what a total is. The insurance company says, do I pay $15,000 to fix a $17,000 car, and then if the repair ain't perfect, I gotta pay for it again to be fixed? You know what I mean? And it's a lot. And the car, once it's got a damage on its Carfax, it's worth even less. So, oh God, somebody almost crashed. That bus right there almost hit that fool. Anyway, like I was saying, now, damn, shit. All right. Like I was saying, these new EVs, their value drops off because of the technology involved and because of the battery. The battery that's in these cars. Each EV, each individual electric vehicle has got battery packed inside the belly, the bottom of the car, right? And they're all different shapes and different sizes and different voltages and different capacities, right? So every battery is individual to every car. And I mean, ain't no one battery for more than 2 Tesla models either. So, and then you get into Hummers, you get into all these little Japanese brands and the little Chevys and all this other stuff. And the battery is individual to each one of these cars. And therefore the battery is very, very expensive to replace, right? The battery is a major wear and tear part. Now, the battery is like tires on an EV. You only got so many years, and it's a single digit number of years basically to drive that car. That battery is going to degrade, and then at some point somebody's going to have to spend 5 digits worth of money to replace it. That's why a used EV is basically worthless, because oh shit, they trying it today. Whoa, they trying it. Okay, a used EV is basically worthless. A used EV, like I said, is disposable. That's what a disposable car is. You buy it, or you shouldn't even buy it. You should lease it. You get the car, it's like a napkin. You buy a pack of napkins at the store, a roll, a bounty, right? You buy a big pack, costs you $20. You get home with it, open it up. That pack of towels, paper towels, is instantly worthless. You know why? Because nobody's gonna buy a open pack of paper towels, because it's basically useless. You can keep it and wipe your hands with it for the next 3-4 weeks, however long it takes you to run through it. But basically, the worst part is over. This changes cars from a commodity to an appliance. Like a toaster, like a microwave oven. You buy a microwave oven, cost you $200. As soon as you take it home and put some food in it, you can't never get that $200 back. It's a disposable item. It's something you buy and you use and you throw it away. Now, a lease, they kind of build that cost into it. You know what I mean? A lease on an EV is going to be a little higher than a lease on a regular car, because they know how much it's going to depreciate. So, but still, it's not your problem. You go ahead and pay for it. You agree on the depreciation, money factor, all that good stuff, and you buy it, drive it for 2 or 3 years, and just as it starts to degrade itself, it starts to get not as good, and you got a looming battery replacement hanging over your head, you get to get a car back to the dealership and start over with another one. That's what I'm saying. They are disposable. That fact, along with the fact that I have to drive this car and constantly watch that needle or watch that display, and that's going to tell me when I got to go find another charger. Now, all cars don't take all charging networks, right? And then when you find a charger, system. It might be a long line, might be a long wait, might be half of the machines that might be broken. And then during the winter, when it's really cold, you're not even gonna get that far. So like I said, it's a lot of things about an EV that will degrade it, that will make it seem less attractive, especially after you've had it for a while. Now, like I said, I got a solution. I'll tell you in a minute. But at this point, EV is a take it or leave it thing, right? You don't have to buy one. But we got our governments all over the world trying to force us into this technology. They want, like California, even though the administration, the federal government says you don't have to do this EV mandate no more. Well, California is its own little, whatever you want to call it. California is proceeding ahead with this all EV. They want all cars to be electric vehicles sold in the state of California by 2035, right? So they're going to keep going with it. They're going to force the issue, no matter how much it's going to cost us and cost them. They're not going to get the gasoline revenue that they were once getting, but they don't care. They have they got blinders. It's like with that train. I don't care how much it costs. I don't care what damage it's going to do, how impractical it is. We want it, so we're going to force it. And that's what's happening. So at some point, we might be forced into buying EVs. But right now, we're not. And EV sales prove that because they are down. People are not buying these things anymore. And then you got heavy trucks. You got bus companies that were thinking they had to go along with this stuff too, and they've tried them out and they are failing miserably. School buses, a school bus that operates in the early morning hours when it's the coldest, and these places, half of their school buses are down because they're EVs. They can't charge them and they won't last the whole route. People are finding out these things are just not really good. Now, if the EV thing has to proceed, we're going to have a choice to make. Now, the technology and the whole way the EVs work has got to change. Now, I have an idea that could save EVs and make them a whole lot more feasible and doable to the average person. And I mean, maybe even the average truck or bus. Now, the problem with EVs is the battery. Okay, that's basically the number one problem is the battery, right? It runs out, you have to charge it. That means it takes a long time to charge. Trucks, cars, they take a really long time. Trucks and buses, they take a really long time to charge, right? And then you have to set up infrastructure to be able to charge this on the fly when you want to, when you don't want to. I mean, when you want to, when you're ready to. Now, EVs in car, same thing. It's range anxiety, it's battery replacement. Now, in China, they have replaceable batteries. Like you know, back in the day, our cell phones, right? When we first started really getting hit hot on these smartphones and whatnot, you could just take a battery out and put in another one. You could have 2 or 3 batteries at your house, and you could carry an extra battery with you. So if you didn't have a charger, if you couldn't find a charger, you're gonna be out all day, you're not gonna be near a charger, you could reserve yourself up. And how long does it take to charge a battery versus changing a battery? Not long at all. See, changing a battery takes 2 seconds. Charging your cell phone battery takes hours. What if EVs were like that? Well, in China, they have that system. There's at least one car company in China that has replaceable battery packs. You drive into a little building, you drive over something, and some machinery comes under your car, disconnects your old battery pack, moves it out, puts in a different battery pack, slaps it up in the car, and you're good to go. Now, as far as I know, this is like one car company that this works for. Now, yes, you've taken away the ownership of the battery. Now, the battery being part of the car is what causes the depreciation. Now, if you take away the battery from being part of the car, and the battery is just a reusable cartridge of power that you can get anywhere, they're all over the place, that would take a big chunk out of the depreciation of an EV, right? Because at that point, you're just worried about the screens going out, you're worried about the electric motors giving you problems, things like that, right? Some modules. You know, that's doable. That's every car, right? It puts you back in a fighting chance with regular cars. If you never had to worry about battery replacement, an EV would be something it make a whole lot more sense to a regular car owner, especially somebody who lives in an apartment building and they can't charge at home overnight. Or somebody who's not at home overnight, who has crazy hours. You know what I mean? You can't. Okay, so that's number one. I say we be able to take the batteries out of the car. The battery will be owned by the manufacturer. Okay, we'll put it like that. Now, that alone, good. Step two, modular battery systems. Okay. Every car right now has a different battery because the car is a different shape and they fill up every ounce of the car that you can use for battery pack has battery pack. Therefore, the battery pack is usually shaped differently for every car. And it also has a different voltage. They have different power levels of how much power, what voltage the batteries work at, how many kilowatts they hold, and all this other stuff. Now, with cars, right, regular cars, engine cars, our fuel is generalized. It's liquid. It can be easily put into any car. You could go to Shell and you could put gas in every car on the road at this one station, right? Because that gas will go into that tank. It doesn't matter what shape your tank is, how big it is. Gas is gas, and it will work in any car, right? So you can easily just liquid pour it in there and you're good. And you fill up in 5 minutes. And gas is not part of your car. Your propulsion system is not part of the car. So you never have to worry about it. It's not like you have a lifetime supply of gas that comes with the car and it slowly runs out, or over so many years it will degrade and be no good, so you have to go buy another whole lifetime worth of gas in one shot. That's never the case with an ICE car. Now, if battery electric cars, the battery was not part of the car, but yet the battery packs were small and multiple, to where one car, let's say a Honda Civic, would have 18 battery packs of this universal size, right? Mind you, universal size, universal voltage, universal construction, right? Just like all gas has to be a certain formulation. It has to come measured by the same amount, all this other stuff, right? By gallon and blah, blah, blah. Now, imagine if batteries could be reduced. Battery packs could be entirely modular in every car. Every car would use the same, maybe something small enough that a person could pick it up with one hand, right? It'll be a small little battery pack that connects to all the other battery packs inside the car. Now, like I said, Honda Civic might have 18. A Chevy pickup truck might have 48 of these individual battery packs. And the way you hook them up, the way the car connects them to each other, whether in parallel or series or in series of parallels, determines the voltage output and also the capacity. Now, if every car had a slot or an area built into it that could be manipulated by a machine underneath the car, similar to the Chinese system where you would drive into a little building like a gas station, right? You'd have to have these little buildings all over the place. They would have a whole bunch of these little battery packs charged and ready to go. Your car needs 18 of them. This machine would pull up under your car, snatch out 16, 17, 18 battery packs, put in 18 new ones. Now, there'd have to be a whole lot at their station, right? Like, just like gas cars have a big station with big underground tanks. Now, they would have to have a big underground storage of these little universal battery packs. I'm gonna turn the lights on me while I'm taping. Anyway, let's do it like that. Well, shoot, that ain't that bad. Now, like I said, Honda Civic, 18. Chevy Silverado EV, 48. Doesn't matter. They all EVs would use the same battery pack. And if we had the technology that could swap out these packs, multiple packs, and hook them up properly in your car, then you've taken away range anxiety. You've taken away range anxiety. You've taken away the depreciation of a battery pack. And you've made the EV simple. Now, it would take time, yes, to build this infrastructure of battery storage facilities. And you got a lot of environmental concerns with that, right? But if you could really fill up your battery on your EV the same way and about the same amount of time as gasoline engines gas up, and we have stations all over the place. Now, you could put regular EV charging stations Tesla superchargers all over the place, you still gonna have them lines, and you still gonna have the time at half an hour, 20, 30, 40 minutes per car. Okay, now the system I'm talking about, 5 minutes per car tops. That would eliminate the lines. That would eliminate a whole lot of problems. You could stop, have battery packs swapped out. As long as these things are universal, that might do the trick. If it was like that, would you buy an EV? It would. I think you would. I think it might open up a whole new world of cars. I mean, like, the way things are right now, I wouldn't touch an EV. I would not have one for myself. Maybe for fun as a 5th or 6th car, but I would not rely on one day to day, and I would not rely on one on a road trip. But if my system I just thought about it, it's a free game. If somebody out there can do it, if somebody out there can pick it apart, tell me why it wouldn't work, why it couldn't work. Tell me, leave me in the comments, because I mean, I'm just brainstorming here. If we gonna do this EV thing, it's gonna have to be some serious structural changes made to make it work. But you tell me in the comments what you think. What you think about my idea. If it's a multi-billion-dollar idea, maybe somebody will pay me for it. I don't know. But anyway, until next time, thank you for watching. And don't forget to like this video. And if you want to share it, share it. You know what I'm saying? If you want to subscribe, do whatever you want to do. Just watch the thing, all right? Make sure somebody watches it, because like I said, I'm trying to get these views up. But anyway, thank you for watching. Good night.